Aloha everyone, Brooke Hemingway here, Diamond Ambassador with Plexus, and I'm excited to come here and teach you a little bit more about what I've learned over the past 3 years. Now, I have been highly successful in my business, and I've tried a lot of different things, and although I was very successful my first couple of years, I worked a lot harder than maybe I had to. I didn't have systems. I wanted to be in every single conversation and try to kind of micromanage and control everything, and it really took a lot of my time, and it didn't empower the people that I signed up. I didn't give them a tool that could help them to be successful. I also have learned along the way that developing silvers is very simple. And if you break it down to the basic things, you can create massive duplication on your team. And so tonight I'm going to share some systems that I've developed along with my partner Emily Gibson over the last few years that have helped us to have amazing momentum that really hasn't stopped for 3 years consistently. And as we've gone along, we've learned a better, more efficient way to talk to potentials and to onboard them without having to be an expert in the products. Because let's face it, there are a lot of people that will not join you in this business if you make it complicated. There are a lot of people that don't think they have the skills to do this, and if you don't make it simple, they will walk. They will not be successful, or they won't even start because they don't think that they can do it. And you're missing out on so much potential. And so I want to urge you, as we talk about these systems and as I show you these graphics and talk you through them, I want to urge you to, number one, not be hard on yourself, because everything that you've done in the past is not bad. And just to open your mind and embrace maybe a little bit of a different way of doing things, and then to take these things that you're learning and to teach your teams how to implement these systems. As people grab hold of this, they're going to have much more success, less frustration, greater growth and momentum moving into the future. So super excited to share this with you. I'm going to go ahead and start by sharing my screen, and we're going to talk about developing silvers. Before we talk about that, I want to just say that silver is the key to everything. The power of 3 really truly is what is going to get you where you want to be. If you're struggling with retention, you need to focus on the power of 3. If you're struggling with people not having results on their products, you need to focus on the power of 3 and silver. If you're struggling with ranking up, you need to focus on silver. If you're struggling with anything in your business, basically the cure to what ails you is silver. And here's why. People will quit oftentimes even if they love the products because they can't afford them. People will quit if their results aren't super fast. So if their products are paid for, they're going to stay on their products longer, they're going to have the results that they want, and then they're going to be a bigger believer. People will not do the work, like I said, to go silver because they feel like it's too complicated. And so we're going to map out how I have been developing silvers recently, and I would say actually for the last couple of years. This is really the method of developing silvers that I feel is the best for long-term sustainability and growth of your business. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully I'll do it right here. There we go. And I'm going to have some things probably pop up that I'll have to close out. Okay, so this is a developing silvers flow sheet, and I want to give some shout out here to Kara Allen. She's a gold ambassador in my downline, and I basically drew up this chart on a ripped piece of paper, and she made it come to life, and then Plexus plexified it and made it look more beautiful with their colors and branding. So when you are developing silvers, I want you to understand that it starts with the very first conversation. When you are talking to your brand new potential, the way that you share with them is a good indicator of if they are going to feel like they can share. So if when you share with them, you are giving them a million videos to watch, leaving 5 or 10 minutes of voice messages, going on and on and on about ingredients and products, you are over talking, and you need to pull that back and simplify it, because your potential is looking at how you share, and the way that you share is how they think they have to share. Even though that's not true, that's just what they're going to think they've got to do. And so basically, when you have somebody that is ready to sign up as an ambassador, before you get to that point, you should be asking them a couple of things. or telling them a few things, I should say. You should say you have a couple of options when you join Plexus. You can purchase as a customer, or you can do what I did, which I love, which is to join as an ambassador. Ambassadors get the deepest discount on products, but ambassador accounts are truly designed for people that plan to order 100 PV or more a month, people that plan to be consistent on the products for at least 3 to 6 months, and people that may want to share the products and earn commission. Now, you don't have to share, but it is a really great perk that we have. Which option sounds like the best fit for you? And I leave it up to them. If they don't want to join as an ambassador, they become a preferred customer. If they're loving their products, I upgrade them their second month automatically. But let's go back to this point. So we've laid out the expectation, the 100 PV, the 90 days at least committing to the products, and that they can share if they want to. They've chosen the ambassador route, and I'm going to get them on the phone and enroll them. Enrolling over the phone gives 5-star customer service. It is the absolute best way to enroll people. Number one, they're going to enroll the right way. They're going to end up with their subscription on, and you're going to have that once in a lifetime opportunity to leave that first impression and ask them to share. Now, it doesn't mean you don't get to ask them down the road, but you only get one first phone conversation where you get to ask them to share, and you always want to do that over the phone if possible. Once you have them enrolled over the phone, you're going to quickly open up their virtual office. So if they're doing it on the computer, I've walked them through it. I say click on that button up in the right-hand corner that says virtual office. Here's where your shareables are. Shareables have a lot of really great videos, and I'm going to show them how to find those videos. And I'm going to encourage them to watch them and say it's only 1.5 minutes long. Maybe just watch a couple a day. You're going to learn so much about the products and the microbiome. You're going to love it. And then I tell them, you're going to get this great, beautiful welcome kit in the mail. I want you to take a look at that and read through it and let me know if you have any questions. The next thing I ask them, after we've got them all enrolled, we've explored the shareables, is I say, you know, as we've been talking about the products and we've been talking about Plexus, do you know anybody that you can think of right now that needs Plexus? Or have you thought of anybody? Or has anyone come to mind? So those are some different questions you can ask. You can also ask them to post on social media. So I will usually ask them to do both of these things. The first thing that I often ask is posting on social media. And if that's a no-go, then I'm going to ask them if they have thought of anybody. So when I ask them to post on social media, I'm basically sharing my story. I'm saying, you know, when I started Plexus 3 years ago, I was struggling big time as a mom. I was tired all the time, yelling at my kids, anxious, couldn't wait for 8 o'clock to come around to put them in bed because I was exhausted. I lived off Diet Coke. I craved sweets all the time. I had bloating. My head was pounding every morning, and I just could not sleep deeply. Basically, I was just surviving my days, and Plexus has changed my life so much. I know that there are so many people out there that struggle in silence just like I did. And I'm wondering if you could do something that might be a little bit scary to you. And I just kind of put it out there kind of lighthearted. I say, I know this might make you a little scared, but I'm going to encourage you to do it scared. Would you be willing to share my story on your Facebook or on your Instagram and just share with people what you're starting and what you're excited for? If they say yes, they'll do it. They go in the baby steps group. If they say absolutely yes, I'm really interested, and you talk about sharing a little bit, they're going to go in the all in category. If you've asked them to do these things and they're a no-go on both accounts, you're going to put them into the product user group. And this is how these groups work. So if you follow these tracks, guys, what I want you to understand is that this maps out for you how to develop silvers and how to get them going right away. Because one of the biggest mistakes people ever make is they sign someone up and they just go, phew, I've done it. I've got them. I signed them up. My work is over. You haven't done anything signing them up. All you've had to do is prospect a little bit. But that's nothing in the big scheme of things. The way that you're going to keep them around is getting them to open their mouth, because we know our products work, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, after 30 days, if everything hasn't changed in their life, if they don't have a healthy perspective, which I would say at least 50% of people, they just have no perspective, they're going to quit the products. And so we want to get them sharing. So if they say no way, they're going to be a product user. And your goal is to find them an accountability partner in the first week. An accountability partner, okay? In the first month if they can't in the first week, but really as soon as possible. You want to invite them to have that accountability partner because here's the truth, and this is what you're going to say to them. People that start a new healthy routine need support, and research shows that when you start a healthy diet, a workout routine, or any healthy change, if you have a partner or a group of people doing it with you, you are way more likely to be successful. And I care about you. I want you to be successful on the products. I know you need someone to do this with you and be your accountability partner. Who is that person going to be? So be direct like that. Help them to get that person started with them. You're still going to show them the shareables and send them a video toolbox, which would be like 2 or 3 videos that you feel would be important for them to see, and usually is going to be one that will tell them what to expect when they start their products. You're going to add them to your team page and tag them in 2 to 3 posts. One of the worst things you can do is just drop them in a page and not do anything. You just drop them in there and hope that by osmosis they're going to know how to use the page and they're just going to soak in all that great information. You need to engage with them early on. Tag them in 2 to 3 posts that are applicable to them. So maybe a health testimonial that's like theirs, maybe something on detox, and then maybe a post on what to expect or how to start your products. Get them off to a good start with your team page. Then you're going to follow up like a boss 4 times in the first 30 days. Emily Gibson has a great video about that and a flow sheet if you're not sure how to follow up. When you follow up with positivity. Be specific. Ask specific questions. Don't just say, let me know how it's going. Ask them how their energy is, their sleep is, their mood is, their digestion. How much water are you drinking per day? Are you taking everything consistently? Can you tell me exactly how you're taking your supplements and when? I want to know the details because I find out a lot of times people aren't taking it correctly. When they tell me the good things that are happening, I celebrate it like it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You have more energy and you don't need that afternoon coffee. That's amazing. I know so many other people that would love to feel that way. You know, when we first talked, you didn't want to share because you wanted to wait and see, how you felt. Now that you're feeling some results and you're feeling good, I would love to see you share this. Have you thought of anybody else that this would be good for? And so I'm basically re-engaging them in sharing. When we have our next 7-day challenge, even if they've been someone that's told me they're not interested in the business, I'm still going to reach out to them because they've probably been on the products a week or 2 or 3 or maybe a month. And I'm going to say, hey, Jan, I know you've been liking your products and you're not interested in the business, but as you've been taking them now for a couple of weeks, I wondered if you thought of anybody that could use these products. Here's the thing. We're having a 7-day challenge next Monday, just like the one that you were in last month and that you loved. And I'd love to be able to invite a few of your friends to it to check it out. I actually have 7-day trial packs on me, and I'd be more than happy to send them out for you. And they could just Venmo or PayPal me the $20. So I make it easy for them to share because remember, this is someone that's like, I'm not going to share, I don't want to, they're afraid to do it. And so I want to make it easy for them. That's how I personally do it. Usually it works as well. And then basically, like I said, the key is to help them get one accountability partner in the first week and do great weekly follow-up. The second group is your baby steps group. Your goal is to get them silver in their first month. You're going to do a lot of the same things, except they said they'll post on Facebook and Instagram. You're going to write it up for them, or at least an example, so that they can see what it looks like. You're going to remind them to post it with a picture of them, not a graphic, but we want it to be personal. We want them to tag you and make sure to let you know when they've posted it so that you can go and leave a comment, bring a couple of your friends to leave a supportive comment so they get 3 or 4 comments and likes, and that'll boost the algorithm. We are then going to have these people create a simple list of 20. Some people call this a hot 20 list. Some say 20 best, 20 blessed, 10 easiest, 10 best. You know what to do. 20 people in the first 24 hours. Here's the deal, guys. Everybody needs accountability. And so I say, what I want you to do tonight is sit down and make this list of 20. And when you're done, snap a picture of it and send it to me tonight. I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait to help you help others. And so I'm saying I want it tonight because I want them to send it to me right away. If I don't give them any kind of deadline, then it'll go on forever and they won't do it. Same thing with their post. I help them write it up. I send it to them and I say, when you post this tonight, make sure to tag me. Or when you post this in the morning, but I don't want to go past the morning because I don't want them to go more than 24 hours. I want them to post right when they say yes. The longer they go, the more time they have to think, I don't want to do this. I'm afraid. What are people going to think of me? I don't know. Like, I can't do this. I don't have her skills or whatever it is. So I want them to post it right away. Because they've made this list of 20, our goal is for them to reach out to all 20 people within that first week, if possible. But if not in the first week, at least in the first month. I'm going to give them sample messages. I'm going to introduce these people to third-party tools and three-way messages. So, guys, a third-party tool is anything but you. A third-party tool is a video, a PDF information sheet, a testimonial, a health and wellness page that you have for customers, a three-way message, a video that somebody else has done. A third-party tool is anything but you. So you're going to teach them what the third-party tools are that your team uses, and you're going to teach them how to copy and paste those links, how to send them. Keep it simple. Same thing, add them to the page and tag them. Follow up and celebrate victories, and re-invite them to share every single victory that they've had. Give them the goal of adding about 3 people to the next 7-day challenge. They can overshoot that, of course, but you want to kind of give them a goal for what would be normal. The key here is early success. Guys, operating with an extreme sense of urgency is so important for their success. You want to help them enroll their first person in 1 week. And you want to talk to them a few times a week, okay? Just to keep them excited, keep helping them, encouraging them. Now, number 3 is the all-in people. The goal is to go silver in the first week or the first 7 to 10 days. Same thing, they're going to tag you and do their post right away. Instead of a list of 20, you're going to have them create a list of 64. So they can do this in the same way. You're going to ask them to send it to you within 24 hours. They can just take a picture of it. Your goal for these people is to have them send all 64 messages in the first 30 days. Now back here, you're also going to let these people know about Fast Start Gold. If they're super motivated by that and they want to do that, you're going to have them message all 64 in the first 2 weeks, because the last 2 weeks of the month are going to be a lot of follow-up and a lot of maybe sip and sees and in-person things. So you want to get all the conversations going earlier. Same thing, introduce them to the third-party tools and three-way messages. Add them to your team page. And here's the one that really is optional. Some of you have training pages, some of you don't. If you have a really great training page and they're a highly motivated person that wants all the information and it's not going to bog them down or overwhelm them, go ahead and add them to the training. Otherwise, you just follow this sheet, and the next sheet I'm going to show you, the road to recruiting. You just follow those steps with them, and you give them 1 step at a time and keep it simple, and they don't necessarily need to be in a training page. Most people, when they begin, do not need a training page. They just need that individual step-by-step so that they don't get overwhelmed. And then eventually you could add them to a training page, but you really have to fill that out by the person. You give them a little bit of a bigger goal, adding 5 to 7 people to a 7-day challenge. And like I said, early success and almost daily communication for these highly motivated people. If you live close to them, doing in-person meetings where you get together is one of the most important things that you can do as well to help them to be successful. So again, following these steps is going to help you guys to get more silvers on your team. And here's the thing, you can learn all this stuff, but if you don't do it every single time, and roll over the phone, explore the shareables, ask them who they know, invite them to post, determine a pace. If you don't do this every single time, you're missing out on such a huge opportunity to duplicate and teach your ambassadors these steps. Okay, so let's go on to our road to recruiting. So once you have somebody, let me see if I can move this. I am not a computer whiz, guys. There you go. Once you have somebody that is open and willing to sharing, you want to teach them a simple way to share, because sharing should be simple. I call this road to recruiting because basically you're just going to learn a few simple questions that will help you with follow-up and that will help you to recruit. It's a flow chart that tells you what to do if they say no, and what to do if they say yes, and what to do if they say, I'm not sure. Becoming really good, excuse me, becoming really good at asking questions and listening to people is one of the most important things you can do. Bob Heilig says it all the time. Talk less and make more. Talk less and make more. It is so true. The less information you send people, the better. You want to send them only what they need to know. This is like a need-to-know basis, on a need-to-know basis, okay? So if someone is interested in the products, they comment on your post, you send them a message and they express interest, or they message you, the first thing out of your mouth should not be to copy videos and to tell them all about what Plexus is. It should be, what are you looking to improve? Or do you have any health struggles or concerns that you're hoping to improve? Or are you looking for, to replace income? Like if they're interested in the business and the products, are you looking to replace part-time income or full-time income? Or are you looking to make a certain amount of money per month? Or, just asking them that question. Based on their answer, you're almost always going to send the same tool, actually. You're just going to ask that question and listen. It's amazing what people will tell you. Listen with your heart and your ears. Then you're going to send them a third-party tool. Remember, your third-party tool can be a video, a testimonial, a PDF sheet. It could be the website. I don't personally send people to the website until they're ready to sign up. And it could also be a three-way message. What I recommend is that the first thing should be a video, and it should be a short video, preferably one of them from our shareables, because most people have a short attention span. They don't want to listen to a 20-minute video. They want 2 to 3 minutes, in and out, boom, bang, done. And so sending that 1.5-minute triplex video is great for almost all people. If they're interested in the business, excuse me, and the products, if you have a favorite business video that you want to send, you can. Right now, currently, I send Ami Darling's triplex and opportunity video. Oops, I don't know what I did there. I send that one because basically I don't have another one, and she does a great job breaking that down in 7 minutes. And I figure if somebody has done it well, choose easy. So you send that third-party tool, and then you ask them right after you send it. I'm sorry. You ask them a question. You say, when do you think you'll have time to watch this video? Based on their response, you're going to set up a time to follow up with them. So if they say, oh, I'm going to watch it right now, say, great, I'll check back with you in about 5 minutes. Or if they say, oh, tonight after my kids go to bed, great, I'll check back with you tonight, around 9 o'clock or so, and see what you thought. You're going to follow up and say, what stood out to you? Or could you relate to anything that was shared? Or what was most interesting to you? If they don't feel like anything stood out to them, they couldn't relate to anything, they're like, that doesn't really sound like me, I don't know if this product is for me, I would then ask another question. You know what, can I send you some more information that's a little bit more specific to your concerns and your goals? If they say, no, I'm just really not interested, then that's okay. You say, no problem. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you ever think of anybody else in your life that could use these products, I would love it if you'd send them my way. So, hey, tell me how your daughter's doing. I love that our kids are in dance together. They're so adorable, aren't they? So, like, I'm deflecting and diverting and changing the subject so it's not weird. And so they don't feel like I'm only going to talk to them because I wanted them to try my products. Now, if they say, yeah, you can send me some more information, I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to send another third-party tool, or I'm going to introduce them in a three-way message, which is a third-party tool. Putting them into a three-way message is a really great way to find out if they are seriously interested. So if you shared a video, they're not sure. Maybe you shared one testimonial after that, they're not sure. And they say you can send them some more or set up a message. You're going to set up that three-way message. And if it still moves along and they're not interested, you're just going to continue to build the relationship. If after that next third-party tool or that three-way conversation, they seem very interested, they seem like a yes, literally the very next question is, does it sound like something you'd like to try? Now, what happens is a lot of times we ask them that initial question, we send them a video, and they say, oh my gosh, that sounds just like me. I can relate to everything. And then what we do is we start vomiting more information about Plexus, or we send another video or another testimonial, or we're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then blah, 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 like all this information about Plexus that we didn't need to say. They already told you it sounds like them. They already told you they can relate to it. And so you move into closing immediately. You say, does it sound like something you'd like to try? If they're a yes, it's really straightforward. You say, great, I'm so excited for you. Do you have time so I could give you like a 10 or 15-minute phone call right now? I'd love to walk you through the website so you can see what it looks like, and also answer any other questions you have. Because I want to get them on the phone. When I can get them on the phone, it's almost always slam dunk, in the bag. They've signed up, and then I can start that process of developing silvers, asking them those questions. So if they don't have time for a call right now, remember, urgency is of the essence. You want to set up an appointment right then and there, preferably same day. So I say, no problem. Are you going to be available this afternoon while your daughter goes down for a nap? Or are you going to be available tonight after the kids go to bed? Or, I can give you a call first thing tomorrow morning. I want to try to get them on the phone that same day, because remember, the longer people go, the more they have to Google or question or doubt, and you want to get them when they're ready. If they say yes, they're ready, basically just call them up and go through that developing silvers process that I told you about. Now, if you get to this point where they're like, oh my gosh, yes, that I can relate to that. That sounds like me. You ask them if it's something they want to try. They say, I'm not sure. You need to start uncovering their doubts and fears and ask them a question. You can say, what other questions do you have for me? Or you can say, is there anything that you're concerned about? So asking a question. Answer that question that they ask you. Say nothing more, nothing less. So if they're asking you, are these products FDA approved? And, can I take them if I take this medication or whatever? And you say, they're not FDA approved. No supplements are FDA approved. Even a prenatal vitamin is not FDA approved, but they are GMP certified, and they are really safe, clean products that go through third-party testing. And I'm super excited for you to try these products. So I answered the question. I'm super excited for you to try these products. Now that I've answered that question, do you think you want to get started? Like, you are literally moving the conversation along. After you've answered their question, you're going right back into another question. Does this sound like something you want to try? Or have I answered all of your questions? And, if they have time right now and they are interested, they're going to be a yes. And you're going to go back over here. Yes, I'm interested and I have time. You're going to call them. Or no, I don't have time, but I'm interested. Schedule an appointment. If you've gone through this whole process, you've uncovered a doubt, answered their question, maybe you've gone to right here, and they say, and you've introduced them, maybe in a three-way message, and they're still a not ready person, this is where you go. So if they say they're not ready, you say, it seems like, this is the one I use most often, this seems like an amazing fit for you. I'm wondering what's holding you back. Because really, I'm trying to get to the root of what they're afraid of, or to the root of what it is. Sometimes it's cost. The most common things are cost. They found something online, or they're just not sure if it's going to work for them because they spent so much money on so many other things that promised to be a quick fix, and they weren't, and they just don't have a lot of hope. And so you're going to work on helping them to overcome those doubts and fears. But if they're not ready, just don't push them. Don't force them. Be their friend first and say, you know what? No problem. I think a great fit for you, just to be able to learn more and get more comfortable with this, would be our 7-day challenge, or our 3-day blitz, or our wellness page, or our Zoom event, or our Facebook event. Whatever it is that you guys do on your team, you're going to invite them to that next as a way for them to continue learning and exploring Plexus. And, after they've done this, basically look at this beautiful little arrow. It goes up, up, oops, and back around. Once they've been in a 7-day challenge, a 3-day blitz, or gone to an event, you follow up with them. You ask them how they liked it. and you say, you know, now that you've learned so much and been able to sample the products, does it seem like something you'd like to try? And it's literally one big feedback loop here. But guys, it really is just a matter of asking the simple questions, answering the questions, not giving too much information, not vomiting so much information and sending them 30-minute video after 30-minute video, because people don't have time for that. When at all possible, getting them on the phone and doing great follow-up. Guys, I know that if you start to say less, you're not only going to recruit more people, but as you start to say less and you start to send the same 2 or 3 videos to everybody, you're going to simplify the process, and you're also going to be showing those new recruits that it is really simple to share Plexus. And when they tell you, I'm afraid I can't do it, I'm not like you, I'm not a nurse, or I haven't been doing this for a long time, you can say, you know what? Here's 3 videos. These are the only 3 links you need to know how to copy and paste. Here's like 5 questions that you're going to be asking, and you're going to use 3-way messages. Because after you've sent 1 or 2 third-party tools, if the person isn't ready, they should for sure go into a 3-way message. If they're not willing to go into a 3-way message, they're not really serious and they're not really ready, and you just need to work on building the relationship a little bit more. It doesn't mean they're never going to be ready. You want to continue to follow up with them and encourage them and be their friend outside of Plexus too, but also don't be afraid to keep following up with them. Some people after 7 or 8 months are finally ready to do a 7-day challenge. And then maybe they don't even join after that, but 4 or 5 months later, they join. And then maybe they join and decide to do the business. You never know what it's going to be, but I promise you guys, if you employ these tools consistently and you teach them to your teams, you are going to have so much success in recruiting personally, in helping them recruit, and in developing silvers. Thank you so much for listening to this training, and I hope that it blesses your life as much as it has blessed my life learning these simple systems. Have a great day.